All of that state funding would go to bringing groundwater wells to hospitals like this. On the 1-year mark of Hurricane Ian, Fox 4 reported about a mother and child who was evacuated at Gassiano's Children's Hospital because there wasn't any running water. When speaking with Lee Health, they tell me that will change.
You just hear that wind just whipping. And
it was the biggest problem during Hurricane Ian.
Water pressure.
Lee Health says his hospitals had electricity during the storm, but the water kept going out.
In the hospital world, you don't think a lot about water pressure until you have to run a fire suppression system in a 7 or 8 story building.
And with her infant son in the hospital, water pressure was the last thing this mom was thinking about during Ian.
Good, it was cool in there until I used the restroom and there's no water. It's a hospital.
She and her son were eventually evacuated because of it. A situation Michael Nasheef, the vice president of Lee Health's government relations, says Lee Health will never forget, which is why they are using the $4.3 million from the state to dig groundwater wells for multiple hospitals in their network, including Gassiano Children's Hospital.
Well, it's just critical that our emergency departments stay open before, during, and after any event. You need a hospital to be there for you.
He tells me with the groundwater well, Lee Health will be able to access a secure source of water that's sustainable and will continue to run without depending on external water.
Think of it like a generator, right? It's a redundant power system. So at the hospitals, we're required by law to have generators. And so even though this isn't a requirement, we just want to make sure that nothing impedes our ability to deliver care to those who need it.
That $4.3 million will cover majority of the cost to dig these wells. Lee Health tells me that they already started the work prior to receiving the funding, but this funding will assure that they can get this project done as soon as possible in case there's another natural disaster. From Fort Myers, Briana Brownlee, Fox 4.